Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Sports Scope on this June 22nd day edition of the program. Got some thoughts about the U.S. World Cup. U.S. men's team getting another win this past Friday. Going to play Turkey this Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Wow, 9 p.m. Central. I'll be recording that game. But got a few suggestions I think that the World Cup should take into consideration to get rid of these ties and to up some scoring a little bit. Also, fun little video I found off TikTok about the international visitors we've had here to America and how pleasantly surprised with the United States way of doing things. I'll talk about that. Plus, Giannis, lot of trade talk. This could happen anytime, even as I'm recording this program on Monday morning, that Giannis from the Milwaukee Bucks could be traded potentially Miami or Boston. I'll talk about that coming up as well. And here out of Nashville, Jeffrey Simmons. What does that say? The defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons extended. That says a lot about what the organization thinks about him. $100 million fully guaranteed extension there for the defensive tackle here. I'll talk about that here in just a second. So step by, we'll take our first and only break. I'll be back here momentarily. We'll hit the ground running here on the Real Sports Scope. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to Sports, that is Sports with an S, another S, Scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. All righty then, I'm back here live. Almost dropped my phone there with my notes here. Okay, so United States beat Australia. Like I said, on Thursday's program, had a couple of guys last Sunday. I was taken to the airport, really boasting about Australia. They were actually from Australia, and they were here for some bachelor party or whatnot here in Nashville, and boasting about Australia beating the United States coming up this past Friday. Of course, I didn't know that much about Australia. I couldn't really spit any facts there. Just kind of laughed it off. But of course, we know what happened. United States wins 2-0. Listen, point differential, outscored their opponents 6-1. Probably the best United States men's soccer team since 2002, which got to the quarterfinals. As I said the other day, I had a soccer writer. Took a ride here to the airport, said that that would be considered a success for this year's team, young and ascending squad there, even without Christian Pulisic. Remember, I told you he had that calf injury that he acquired in practice there. Someone accidentally kicked him in his calf here. He was held out. Don't know if he's going to play this week against Turkey. But even without him, United States wins 2-0 there. Last Friday afternoon, very much in play there. Now, listen, I read that they've got 4 players that are in NBA circles. If you're an NBA fan, they're in. We have the technicals. You have so many technicals or flagrants in the NBA, particularly the playoffs. You get the automatic 1-game suspension. Well, we have 4 players that points towards Christian Rawdon, Mark McKenzie, Mark Afferson have issues. If they get one more yellow card there, they could be suspended for the next game. A little bit of a dilemma there. My thing is you just take a chance to try to go ahead and play them and beat Turkey. I don't think, I mean, with Pulisic's injury, do you really risk having 5 players out like that? They're just going to have to be less aggressive here against Turkey. We'll see what happens. The team's playing great. Little bit of dilemma there. Like I said, probably the best team since 2002 from the research I've done on paper here. The fact that it's being played here in the United States, like we talked about last week, the ratings are at this world 20, 25 million. I mean, it's up there with the NFL ratings here. That being said, I've noticed that the idea, folks, the idea that the soccer, the idea that the World Cup, the issues has tied games. Now, they do not allow tie games past this next round going on. I get it. The knockout stage and whatnot. Yeah, you're going to have 15 minutes of basic overtime, and then you'll have penalty kicks. But I've noticed that the idea of even having that even in the first round, how do you eliminate tied games? Well, I looked up some of the point system and how they the rules engagement and whatnot. You can have up to 11 players defensively, and I forgot what team it was, but that's basically Spain came back strong this past week, scored 4 goals. What is this young man's name here? I had his name written down here. What's his name? Lamine Yamal, 18 years old, first ever World Cup, scores a goal. Historic moment here in sports here. Really upcoming start. Remember, they were totally shut out last week because the opposing team had, they had several players right on top of the goal there. You got to eliminate that to eliminate these ties, okay? My thing is Major League Baseball, which is a world league, a World Series. You got guys from all over the world playing Major League Baseball. They have eliminated the player shift. Essentially, you cannot do certain shifts for power hitters and whatnot. The players have to stay in position. The NBA has the 3-second rule where you can't just put your big man in the paint for 3 seconds there and clog up the middle. That slows the game down too much. That eliminates scoring. Soccer, get with the 21st century. My guess is 2 players plus the goalie in the box only. That would eliminate these. For one thing, I think it would help with tie games, and it would help out with scoring and pace of the game. You just can't clog it up. You just got to get better, recruit, condition, whatever you want to do for your country, for your professional team. We go back into league play and whatnot. I think that would eliminate these ties and 0-0 games. Like I said, with the issue with Spain the other day, the team just wanted to tie Spain. They didn't even care about scoring. They put everybody in the box. It was really hard watch, even though Spain still got a lot of good shots on goal, though they're dominated possession. So now it looks like Spain's pretty good. They come back and win 4-0. But that's what soccer, I think that needs to be done with. And as far as ties are concerned, you should just basically, if you eliminate the all those players in the box, plus go back to the regular rules that you go into the knockout rounds, the 15 extra minutes. And then if that don't work, you go on you just do the penalty shots. It's 1-on-1, kicker on goalie, and that's it. Then it'll get rid of these ties. If you want to span the rosters, think your players are going to get hurt, so be it. You got to get these. This is a big tournament. Could you imagine the NCAA tournament, one of the games ending in an actual tie because they're worried about player fatigue? No, you find a winner. It's a World Cup. It's a major, major tournament. One of the most watched tournaments in the history of around the world, per se. So that's my suggestion to get rid to help scoring and to do away with these ties, even in the early rounds. That being said, this thing looks really good. Looks good for United States. They play Turkey on Thursday. I still think they're going to come out okay. Let's see how the 4 players who have the yellow cards fare in this game, whether the coach is going to play them or not. That remains to be seen. But my guess is he probably will. And as far as Pulisic is concerned, who knows? Maybe he plays. Maybe he was being held out for this game. So the coach can hold out maybe a few of these players, the more aggressive of that 4, and play Pulisic, kind of balance it out that way. But either way, it's getting a real big buzz here in the sports world, particularly here in the United States as well. Speaking of the United States, as I've mentioned to you all on this program before, do a lot of ride share right now, trying to get this program off the ground. And here in Nashville, we have a lot of international visitors here. This is a big tourist event-based town here. People from all over the world. Other countries actually come here. Bachelorette parties, bachelor parties, birthday parties, big concerts. They come here in Nashville. And they are pleasantly surprised by our hospitality, how good the food is, how much entertainment, how much variety they have. This is what I've seen personally. So someone from TikTok has put this video out of how delighted your Europeans are coming here. Watch this fun video here. And I credit this person here. The name is at the bottom of the screen that I got off TikTok. Interesting stuff. Watch it.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
This is one pancake? Yeah, welcome to America. You know, I used to be little like you.
That's crazy. It's so heavy.
This is pizza. Damn. It's ground beef. Look at and I got big hands, L-sized hands.
That is absolutely massive. That is the size of my head. You can't get a drink this size in my country.
But what is this? Costco. This is even bigger than Walmart.
Ich will essen alles. Oh mein Gott, Tomaten.
Oh my god, guys, it's Target. We're gonna go into Target for the first time ever. She's also gonna film it with her camera. Oh my god.
So you like shopping in America a lot better, honey? We've already got 3 items.
We are in America for the first time as Europeans, and they have every flavor. Look, they have big red. What's big red? There's a big blue as well. We don't know.
Come all the way from London for one of these famous sandwiches. Ah, that's unbelievable. What are we going to make you today?
Boy, I'll tell you what, that is some good shit.
Look at those. I think they're getting ready for something. Fucking heat in Texas.
Yo, can you just give me a green card, bro? Oh. Yo.
One T-bone, medium rare, mark one platter, triple over medium.
I don't know what they're singing, but I'm gonna join a party if I see it.
The container store.
It's just containers.
Just containers. What's a container?
Just our capitalism at its finest there. You know, I really love the guy towards the end at Waffle House just rolling his eyes back like, oh my God, this is such good food. You know, I think the surprise of these people is because our American media really paints and exaggerates a few isolated problems we had in this country and make this out to be the big, evil United States. And it's really just false lies and a few opportunists. And like I said, the slanted media puts in a perception of this great country here. You know, we're coming up on our 250th anniversary on July the 4th. And I'm pleasantly surprised, even though I'm not surprised, because I know this is a good place to live. And the sports fans are having a good time. There was a story last week. I think I told you all this before on the air, but Boston was out of alcohol. Scotland drunk Boston completely out. I mean, that's great for business. That's great for the city, you know, great for Boston there, even though they had to order emergency beers and liquors and whatnot. So But that's the reason why I was surprised. Like I said, our media, our sports media, our political media, you use different types of, like I said, stories about, whether it be an issue with the police or whatever, or some shootings or whatever, and it gets ran on loop, and you paint our president in a bad light, and you can see it. But when they come here, it's like, oh, this is not the evil place I thought it was. This is great variety, great people, great food, great service. You saw the lady at the coffee there. And it's a big surprise, like I see firsthand living here in Nashville, which I think is one of the friendliest cities in the United States, if not the friendliest city in the United States. That pleasantly surprisedness of our international people here. And those are the same reactions I get in person. Good stuff there. Okay, now switching gears here. Big story out of Milwaukee. As I said this before, I think Giannis could be traded at any minute. We've got the NBA draft coming up here. It's tomorrow, folks. The NBA draft will be tomorrow. I think he'll be dealt either today or tomorrow before the draft. Listen, Giannis, 32 years old, great player. Here's my issue, though. Played 36 games last year. He has missed 8 playoff games, folks. 8 playoff games since 2023. A lot of rumors about him possibly going to Boston for Jaylen Brown and some picks and stuff and whatnot. Miami's also mentioned as a potential trade partner. Miami has no star power. I know Bam has had some flashes here and there, but Tyler Hero's always been inconsistent there. We'll see how that plays out. That would be good for Miami. And he said he kind of made a comment he'd like to go to Miami. I guess if you don't want to play in cold Milwaukee. But a guy like Giannis, I love Giannis. I've been following him since his very first year in the league, calling the alphabet, trying to figure out his last name. Love the humility. I think he's gotten a little bit complacent since he got married and settled down. I think she's kind of corroded his mind a little bit personally. There were stories out that Doc Rivers was not letting. He was showing up the film late and everything, kind of loafing around there. He's getting a little bit of a diva mentality. Maybe he's just growing tired of Milwaukee. I don't know. I haven't totally given up on the guy, but the fact that he's 2 years older, I want to say, 2 years older than a Jaylen Brown. Brown will be 30 in October. Giannis will be 32 in December. You really got to be careful, Boston, if you get a Giannis. You're really going to have to. Now, they need a big man. I've said they need. Maybe I said possibly try to go after the Joker in the big package there. That's probably a bit of a pipe dream per se. But that being said, if you do get Giannis, I won't say game manage or load manage his, I know that could seem to be in a negative term there as far as games per se, but I do think you have to put him on some kind of minute restriction, especially the last 15, 20 games of the season. If you want him, like I said, 8 playoff games he's missed in the last 3 years there per se. With the injuries, whatever, be hamstring or whatnot. You've got with his size and coming up on 32 years old, that they really have to be careful with who they trade for and whatnot. I don't know if I would trade for him if I'm OKC. I understand Boston's got to do something. They got to do something because it doesn't match up pretty well with Tatum and Brown per se. They definitely need a big man. I know that Vucevic is out there, but that dude's like 36, 37 years old. So he's way past his prime there, and he's getting injured a lot as well. He was injured this past year, the former Orlando Magic big man and Chicago Bull big man. So if you do get him, that's the way I would look at him. Same thing for a guy, I know he's much older, but LeBron James and whatnot. You just got to watch how you monitor these guys who are up in age and in with the injury history that is starting to become a regular thing, and the fact that he's a big man. He's 6'11", 7 foot, but everybody's wanting to get that big to compete with this surging Spurs team with the Victor Wembanyama, who is playing out of this world, which I'm sure he's going to improve his game even more coming up in this particular off season. Okay, here out of Nashville, Jeffrey Simmons. As I mentioned before, Jeffrey Simmons, it would be very difficult to get proper. I wouldn't mind trading him. I said that, the idea of trading him. But my thing is Simmons is Jeffrey Simmons. It would be hard to get the proper amount of I don't know, trade capital back, draft capital back, and compensation per se for a guy of his status. But they went on and extended him 3-year extension worth $105.8 billion, which includes $100 in guaranteed money. The deal carries an average of $35.3 million a year. Past previous held by Chris Jones. So, hey, listen, is he worth that? Yeah. I think he's worth that. He will be 29 this year. So you've got another good 4, maybe 5 years left of him. He'll be 29, not 30. I thought he was a little bit older than that. Not a bad signing at all there. But listen, Simmons, look this up from Next Gen Stats here. During the 2025 season, he was number 1 in sacks for defensive tackles, 11, 60 in pressures, number 1. He had 60 pressures, number 1 in the NFL. Pressure rate, 13.9%. That's number 1 in the NFL. 18 pressures after a double team first. That's number 1 in the NFL. 5 turnovers caused by pressures. That's number 1 in the NFL. 7.5 sacks on third down. As a defensive tackle, that's number 1 in the NFL. So he's the best pound-for-pound defensive tackle in the league, light on his feet, mobile, hostile, and agile. This also, the owner had to sign off. When you do an extension like this, the owner has to sign off on it. This says that the owner is even bought more into, and Titans management, into Robert Saleh and what they're putting together this particular offseason with this coaching staff. So it tells me they're a good 5 years invested into Saleh, turning this team around, making them a dynamic defense. We saw what he did with the Jets defense, really playing well at times. They just had quarterback issues. So they're looking at Cam Ward and Jeffrey Simmons with this Saleh and this coaching staff to lead this team to a potential Super Bowl in the next 5 years. So, like I said before, you probably just could not get enough for a guy like Simmons in the trade market. Go ahead and keep him. He'll be 29 this year. So you got 29, 30, 31, 32. I mean, you're talking 3-4 very good high-end years there, possibly playing close to an Aaron Donald type of level there with him, plus the players that they've added in through free agency and this particular draft. This team is going to have a lot of momentum coming into training camp here. The mini camps, I know they're just mini camps and whatnot. They just ended, I want to say, about a week or so ago. Training camp will be here before you know it. It'll be here right around the end of the third week there of July. But Tarnell Tate has had a very good camp so far. Let's see how he does in training camp. No hamstring injuries, getting the guy signed, getting everybody in, which I think he's already signed. I think the only 2 players that are not signed yet are Fernando Mendoza, the number 1 overall pick's not signed and ready to go yet, and neither is Sal Simpson. But I think everybody else in the first round, per se, I know they're actually signed and ready to go. So we'll see how that plays out. Good signing there. Looks like he's going to be a Titan probably throughout his prime years. Now we just got to see how it comes together on the field. here in the next few weeks or so, I will give you a breakdown of their schedule and give you a record prediction here, which I may, that being said, I'll have to audit and change it, edit it out and change it pending on injuries that come up. Hopefully they won't have any, but we'll see. Okay. All right, folks. If you'd like the show, please share the show. Also, please subscribe at The Real Sports Scope with the K YouTube channel. Please subscribe. I want to get those subscribers up, and I want to thank everybody that has subscribed, my Uber riders and Lyft riders. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel as well. So have a good Monday, and I'm sure I'll be back here with a full load of information here, especially after the draft, the NBA draft, and this potential trade here with Giannis and Antetokounmpo, the big A, like everybody is saying. Have a good Monday, everybody. I'll see you then.